Assalamu alaikum students. I am Dr. Sahar Rasool, Assistant Professor from Medical Unit 5 FMU. Today we will discuss a very important topic, that is liver abscess. Liver abscess is a mass filled with pus within the liver parenchyma. In it, patients usually present within the medical emergency acutely with high-grade fever and pain in the epigastrium or right hypochondrium. There are two main types of liver abscess, amoebic liver abscess and pyogenic liver abscess. In our society, amoebic liver abscess is more common than pyogenic liver abscess. So there are two main types of liver abscess, pyogenic and amoebic liver abscess. However, rare cause include fungal infections in the liver. Pyogenic liver abscess. Pyogenic liver abscesses are relatively uncommon, but they are important. They are more common in developed countries. They are potentially curable. They are caused mainly by streptococci, staphylococcus, E. coli, Proteus, Klebsiella. These are the most common causative organisms involved in development of pyogenic liver abscess. And anaerobes are also involved in development of pyogenic liver abscess. They carry significant mortality and morbidity if untreated. The mortality of liver abscess is about 20 to 40%. Failure to make the diagnosis is the most common cause of death. Older patients and with multiple abscesses have a higher mortality as compared to younger patients. Causes of pyogenic liver abscess. Pyogenic liver abscess is caused because of bacterial infection within the liver. So, mostly this infection spreads from other organs of the body to the liver. अब ये इन्फेक्शन कैसे कैसे स्प्रेड करती है? It can be spread from biliary tract to the liver, mostly caused because of biliary obstruction because of cholangitis or any stone or any tumor within the bile duct. This biliary obstruction is most common cause of pyogenic liver abscess, and it accounts for 40% of cases of pyogenic liver abscess. Now, pyogenic liver abscess can also result because of spread of infection via the portal vein. Portal vein carries blood from different intra-abdominal organs. So, in it, when a patient develops appendicitis or diverticulitis or any intra-abdominal infection, infection can spread from those organs via the portal vein to the liver, resulting in development of pyogenic liver abscess. Infection can also spread via the hepatic artery, in which bacteremia, the organisms already are present within the blood and they are carried from distant organs like lungs to the liver, resulting in development of pyogenic liver abscess. Different penetrating and non-penetrating trauma to the liver can also cause pyogenic liver abscess. Secondary infection of pre-existing liver tumor or cyst can also result in development of pyogenic liver abscess. The second type of liver abscess is amoebic liver abscess. Amoebic liver abscess is more common in underdeveloped countries where there is no proper management of water sanitation. It is more common in our country too. This abscess is usually found in the right hepatic lobe. There may be associated diarrhea in 20 to 30% of cases because of intestinal amoebiasis in these patients. Early symptoms may be only local discomfort and malaise. In amoebic liver abscess, patients usually have milder symptoms. However, some can develop swelling temperature and sweating. Usually without marked systemic symptoms or signs, patient presents an amoebic liver abscess. However, on examination, there will be a enlarged tender liver. Patient can also complain of cough and pain in the right shoulder because they are caused because of irritation of phrenic nerve, because of diaphragmatic irritation caused by a large liver abscess. A large abscess can lead to development of many complications. A large abscess can penetrate the diaphragm and rupture into the pleural cavity, resulting in formation of empyema. It can also rupture into the lung, resulting in formation of hepatobronchial fistula, in which the contents of the liver abscess are coughed up into the sputum by the patient. Also, it can rupture into the peritoneal cavity, leading to peritonitis and septicemia in the patient. A liver abscess, left-sided liver abscess, can also rupture into the pericardial sac, resulting in the formation of pericarditis and large pericardial effusion. Now, what are the clinical features of liver abscess? Both pyogenic and amoebic liver abscesses have almost same clinical feature. Patient can present with constitutional features like weakness, fatigue, malaise. Patient can present with fever with rigors and chills. Patient can also present with vomiting. Patient will complain of right upper abdominal pain or epigastric pain. There may be sudden dramatic weight loss such as 10-pound loss in a few weeks. Patient can also present with dark colored urine or gray colored stool. It usually occurs when this liver abscess is large enough to cause obstruction of the biliary tract, and when this liver abscess is associated with cholangitis or obstruction of the bile duct because of some stone. Patient can also have associated diarrhea along with liver abscess. This slide is also showing important signs and symptoms of patient with liver abscess. Fever is present in about 81% of patients. Weight loss is present in 27% of patients. Nausea and vomiting is present in about 25% of patients. Right shoulder pain because of irritation of phrenic nerve, because of diaphragmatic irritation and phrenic nerve irritation. It is present in about 24% of patients. Diarrhea is present in about 1.5% of patients. Dyspnea and cough is also present in about 1% of patients. Now, what are the signs of liver abscess? Patient can have right upper quadrant tenderness. जब हम उसको examine करेंगे, we will find tenderness in the right hypochondrium that is present in about 53% of the patient. Hepatomegaly and large liver, palpable liver is present in 47% of the patients. Jaundice. Jaundice is present in 25% of patients, and this jaundice is caused because of compression of the biliary tract and biliary channels by a large liver abscess. Right-sided pleural effusion can also be seen in patients, which is present in about 14% of patients. Elevated hemidiaphragm can be seen on the X-ray, which is present in 11% of patients. Hepatic friction rub can be heard in these patients about 0.8% of the patients. So important physical signs जो हमें examination पे मिलेंगे वो क्या क्या है? Fever, tender hepatomegaly and large liver with tenderness in the right hypochondrium, which is a very important sign of liver abscess. Whenever you see a patient who is having tenderness in right hypochondrium and on palpation, liver is palpable, you must have to think about liver abscess and differential diagnosis. Dull percussion note at right lung base because of associated pleural effusion or empyema or consolidation associated. Dull percussion note can be present at the right lung base. Decreased breath sound will be found at right lung base on auscultation of the lungs because of elevation of the right diaphragm and because of presence of associated pleural effusion, which is quite common in patients with liver abscess. Now we will discuss the differential diagnosis of liver abscess. The differentials include acute gastritis because the patient can present with vomiting, diarrhea, epigastric pain, which are features similar to gastritis. Bacterial pneumonia is also important differential diagnosis because the patient can present with dry cough, dyspnea, right-sided pleural effusion, and fever and liver abscess. So can think about bacterial pneumonia. Biliary disease is a very important differential diagnosis of liver abscess because in liver abscess patient can present with tender hepatomegaly, right hypochondrial pain, and fever, jaundice. These features are also present in cholangitis. Another differential is cholecystitis because in cholecystitis patient also present with right hypochondrial pain and fever. Hepatocellular carcinoma is also very important differential because tender hepatomegaly and low-grade fever are also present in HCC. Other differentials include hydrated cyst, parapneumonic pleural effusion, and empyema thoracis. Now, what investigations we will do when we suspect a patient of liver abscess? First of all, we will go for baseline investigation, including complete blood count. In CBC, we will find raised WBC count, and especially in pyogenic liver abscess. ESR will be raised because of underlying infection. In LFTs, we can find raised alkaline phosphatase and increased bilirubin, especially if liver abscess is associated with cholangitis or if the liver abscess is causing compression of the biliary channels. Now, ultrasound abdomen, it is a very important gold standard diagnostic tool for diagnosing liver abscess. It has a sensitivity and specificity of about 75 to 85%. It is very good in recognizing large abscess. However, smaller abscesses less than 2 cm can be missed on ultrasound abdomen. On ultrasound, liver abscess appears as a hypoechoic lesion with a ring enhancing sounding ring. And then we can go for X-ray test to rule out underlying bacterial pneumonia, and we can also we need the X-ray test to rule out associated consolidation or any empyema or pleural effusion associated with liver abscess. CT abdomen is required in some of the cases, especially when we have to differentiate the liver abscess from hepatocellular carcinoma or hydrated cyst. Also, CT is required for detecting smaller liver abscesses, especially those less than 2 centimeter in size. Blood cultures, we can go blood cultures when we are suspecting pyogenic liver abscess to find out the underlying organisms culprit for the pyogenic liver abscess. Serological test for entamoeba histolytica is done whenever we suspect amoebic liver abscess, and we detect antibodies to entamoeba histolytica. Abscess aspiration examination. This is a very important test that is done whenever a liver abscess is suspected or whenever a liver abscess is seen on ultrasound or CT. We go for ultrasound guided abscess aspiration and removal of the abscess material in its examination, its gram staining and culture of the abscess material aspirate is done. In amoebic liver abscess, there is anchovy sauce appearance, chocolatey appearance of the aspirate of liver abscess. Now this is a slide showing different ultrasonographic appearance of liver abscess. On ultrasound, liver abscess appears as a hypodense lesion with surrounding ring enhancing lesion surrounding rim of thin fibrous tissue. Single or multiple liver abscesses can be found on ultrasound. This slide is showing CT appearance of different liver abscesses. We can see in the upper slide single liver abscess. It appears as hypocoagulation within the liver parenchyma, and in the lower slide we can see multiple liver abscesses, and also in one of the lower slide we can see hydrated cyst with a large cyst with multiple daughter cysts within it. This slide is showing X-ray findings associated with liver abscess. In the first X-ray, we can see a patch of consolidation associated with liver abscess. In the second X-ray, we can see raised right-sided hemidiaphragm caused by a large liver abscess. Also, in the third X-ray, we can find a right-sided pleural effusion that is usually associated with a large liver abscess, especially in the right lobe of the liver. This slide is showing a comparison between pyogenic and amoebic liver abscess. Pyogenic liver abscess mainly involves the individuals with age more than 50 years, and amoebic liver abscess mainly causes the disease in patients with 20 to 40 years of age. Pyogenic liver abscess involves both male and female in almost equal ratio, about 1.5 to 1 ratio. However, amoebic liver abscess is most commonly found in males. Pyogenic liver abscess can be both solitary or multiple, as it is solitary in 50% of cases and multiple in 50% of cases. Amoebic liver abscess is usually single in 80% of the cases. Both are most commonly found in the right lobe of the liver. Left-sided liver abscess is less common. In pyogenic liver abscess, patients do not give a history of travel to endemic area. However, in amoebic liver abscess, there may be history of traveling to tropical and subtropical areas and endemic areas. Pyogenic liver abscess is more common in patients with diabetes and other diseases that cause immunocompromised status of the patient. However, liver abscess can involve healthy individuals. Alcohol use can lead to development of both pyogenic and amoebic liver abscess. Jaundice is more common in pyogenic liver abscess, and it is quite uncommon in amoebic liver abscess. Elevated alkaline phosphatase can occur in both amoebic and pyogenic liver abscess. Positive blood culture is present in pyogenic liver abscess because it is mainly caused by bacteria. However, positive entamoeba histolytica serology is present in amoebic liver abscess, in which there are positive antibodies against entamoeba histolytica in patients with amoebic liver abscess. Now, how will we treat the patients of liver abscess? An untreated hepatic abscess is nearly uniformly fatal. In amoebic liver abscess, we give IV metronidazole to the patients for 7 to 10 days in a dose of 750 mg IV 8 hourly. After 7 to 10 days, we give diloxanide furoate or primomycin to the patient to eliminate the intestinal ova of the entamoeba histolytica in these patients. In pyogenic liver abscess, we give other antibiotics, especially that are active against beta-lactamases, that include third-generation cephalosporins like cefotaxime, ceftriaxone, quinolones, meropenem, aminoglycosides. These all antibiotics can be given in combination with metronidazole or clindamycin, which we need to give for anaerobic coverage. The duration of therapy depends upon the response of the patient and the size of the liver abscess. It can vary from 2 to 3 weeks to 4 to 6 weeks depending upon the response of the patient. Percutaneous drainage under CT or ultrasound guidance with needle aspiration or catheter insertion is always indicated in pyogenic liver abscess in addition to antibiotic therapy. Whenever we diagnose a patient with pyogenic liver abscess, we give both antibiotic therapy, in which we give a combination of third generation cephalosporins along with anaerobic coverage, and we also go for percutaneous drainage under CT and ultrasound guidance in case of pyogenic liver abscess. In amoebic liver abscess, percutaneous drainage is not usually done. Most of the patients respond to treatment with metronidazole alone. However, percutaneous drainage is required only when liver abscess is more than 5 cm in size, patient age is more than 55, there are multiple abscesses, there are abscesses in both lobes of the liver, and the patient is not responding to antibiotic therapy after 7 days. Only in that case we go for percutaneous drainage under CT or ultrasound guidance. Surgical care like laparotomy or laparoscopy may be needed in some complicated cases, such as in case of ruptured abscess and peritonitis and patient having other abdominal diseases along with liver abscess. Now there is a case scenario for you. A 37 years old manual worker has presented with history of fever, pain in epigastrium and vomiting for 5 days. He denies any history of diarrhea and has tender right upper quadrant. He is not jaundiced and has a temperature of 1 or 2 °F. Now what investigation will you advise to him? What do you expect an X-ray test? What is the most likely diagnosis and how will you treat him? The features favoring toward liver abscess include fever, high grade epigastric pain, vomiting, and right upper quadrant tenderness. So the most likely diagnosis, as this is a young patient, most likely diagnosis is liver abscess. However, on investigation, we have to rule out the other important differentials like cholangitis, acute cholecystitis, bacterial pneumonia. So we will go for investigation that we have previously discussed. So this was all for today's topic of liver abscess. Thank you very much.